I've got Pam, Sally, and Laura should be on here.
What about Cruz? Alrighty. Oh, I had Samantha Laws too. I don't think she's on.
Okay, I'll get her.
That's yours. Yeah, that's yours, Michelle. I think everyone else will be on, or we won't.
Okay, Samantha will be getting on here in a second.
Cruz will be joining in just a minute.
Okay. I'll wait for those two and then I'll get started.
Excited.
Thank you.
Jackie's here with Brittany.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Melva.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone? Y'all doing okay?
Oh, we're great. Fantastic.
Good, good. Is there just one more, Michelle? Oh, there's Sally.
Yep, I think that's it. Hey, before we start, do any of you have a sub there? I have an AWOL sub. Do you have one there that's called Latrina Reed?
Called.
If you don't know, please go ask if anyone's name is Latrina, because she is missing.
Okie dokie. We're going to get started. Okay. So today we're going to cover a general timeline on Thanksgiving meal service. Before we even get into this, I want to emphasize general because every kitchen is different. Some of you guys we know have already started doing some of these things. We're aware of that, but this is an ideal timeline for someone who's brand new, who may not know where they even need to begin. So it's a general timeline. You don't have to follow this to a T, but it is just a strong recommendation that you follow as closely as you can. The reason we put this together is because Thanksgiving is a huge undertaking, and we want you guys to just be prepared and, you know, start early and just know that we are here for you guys if you have questions or need help. Okay? Okay. So let's start. Let's see. Now, hold on. Can y'all see my screen? For some reason, I'm looking at the I was looking at the wrong thing. Never mind. I have too much going on over here. Okay. So we're going to start with just 7 days prior to meal service. So this will be one full week, including weekends, before your meal service. Most of you guys are serving on that Tuesday before Thanksgiving holiday. So this would be referring to the Tuesday before that, which would be the November 8th. On November 8th, ideally, you are going to remove your turkeys from the freezer. You will remove them from the box because when they're inside the box, it takes much longer for them to thaw. And you're just going to place them on sheet trays and place them in your refrigerator to thaw. The other thing that you should do at this point is make sure you have things that you may need to order. If you don't, it's probably too late for you to order them, but your neighbor might have some. These are things that you wouldn't normally have in your kitchen. Butter packets, sugar packets, pie plates, extra cups for adult beverages, things like that. And I do believe Lakin is updating our Thanksgiving order guide to include the things that you may not normally have in your kitchen, like the cups and what item number and stuff like that. So we recommend that as soon as you can, you check to make sure you have these things. So on the day of meal service, you're not running to your next door neighbors to get some butter chips or whatever. Next, we have 3 days prior to meal service. So just 3 days before, not a month, not 2 weeks. The turkeys had time to thaw because you pulled them out 4 days ago. We want you to remove the covering from the turkey, remove all that extra fat and skin from the outside of the turkey. We want you to dice it into 1-inch cubes, and then you can portion 6 pounds of the edible turkey into gallon bags. Date the bags, refrigerate the bags, and then they will be ready for your pans for when you start prepping your turkey and dressing. You'll also begin to thaw your pies on this day. I know there's a lot of different opinions about pies, but as a group, we agreed that 3 days prior to meal service is a good time to thaw pies because you're going to be cutting them 2 days before meal service, and they'll still be slightly hard. And we've heard that they're easier to cut when they're frozen or slightly frozen as opposed to completely thawed. So next will be 2 days before meal service. 2 days, you guys need to prepare your cranberry sauce. Your cranberry sauce needs to be prepared for sure 2 days in advance. If you don't prepare it 2 days in advance, it's not going to have time to cool and gelatinize, and it's a big portion. So we just want you to be sure that you've planned with enough time for this to cool. So you'll prepare. Hey, Amber, do you have a question?
Yes, so I'm serving on Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday.
Would I be doing a lot of prepping on Friday then?
Yes, and so we know that we have 32 different scenarios on what each school is serving. So if you're not sure on the exact date that you should be preparing your items, you should reach out to your supervisor and they can help you. But yes, you would be doing the cranberry sauce will last a week in the cooler for sure. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thanks. Good question. Brittany, did you have a question?
Jackie has a question.
Jackie?
Can we in high school serve cranberry sauce for the kids to serve themselves?
Supervisor. Oh, I don't think your supervisor's here right now. Any other supervisor want to chime in?
Does it count for something on the?
It does. It's like a quarter of a cup of fruit, I think. But it's not enough to count as a full meal component.
We've been serving our vegetables.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea that they could put, because not all kids are going to have it. But then again, I don't know if any other supervisors would want to chime. I understand at a high school level,
Yeah,
that I would see definitely them being okay to serve their own
I agree.
cranberry sauce.
I agree.
I don't see an issue with it either. I think it would be fine.
I think it would be great.
Thank you.
Let's
We
work.
aren't going to take that much anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
good questions. Okay,
Tina has
so
her hand raised.
we've had a million. Oh, sorry, Tina.
Cool Whip for the pies, yes or no?
Cool Whip? I believe no.
No, you're correct. No Cool Whip.
Just pie slices.
Okay.
Okay, so back to cranberry sauce. We have seen an assortment of cranberry sauce, and our goal is to have it be a jelly-like consistency with partial chunks of cranberry in it. It should be solid but not firm. There should be no runny liquid inside the consistency of it. It shouldn't be liquid at all. If it is liquid, you probably didn't pop enough of the cranberries when you were cooking it on the stove. There are alternatives to kind of doctor it up, and we can help you with those if you get there. But I have a picture of what it should look like once most of the cranberries are popped in the stove. So hopefully that will help as well. Also, 2 days before meal service, we want you guys to prepare and portion your ranch dressing for your stuffed salads. If you do squeeze bottles, you may just want to put your dressing in squeeze bottles and just have it ready for that day of. It just depends on how prepared you want to be. I feel like the little things that can be done beforehand so they're ready on the day of may be very helpful for those of you that are doing it for the first time. Also, you can slice and plate your pumpkin pie that you pulled out yesterday as space permits. You'll slice it into 10 slices, put it on a sheet pan with the black, I think it's a 5-inch plate, cover with a bun bag and put it in a closed carrier in your fridge. Like I said earlier, we've heard that the pie is easier to cut when it's slightly frozen. It may cut in more straight lines, so it might be something that you guys want to try if you haven't already done that. Any questions on this so far? No? Okay. This is right here a printout that we can send to you guys. I believe Lakin might be sending it to y'all. It's just a template. It's when you print it, it's the size of a pie. And you can put it on your pie to make nicks in the crust for the first few pies that you cut to help you get a feel for how to cut a pie into 10. We know that cutting a pie into 10 pieces is difficult, and we're sorry. But unfortunately, we're already probably exceeding our calories for the week, and we're doing what we can with reducing the pie from a 10 or from an 8-cut slice to a 10-piece slice. So let's see if we can get this video to play. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to open this. You guys can see. Oops, y'all can't see that, can you? Hold on. Let me see. I have so many windows open. I'm sorry. I'm learning how to do all this.
Haven't we always done a 10 cut?
Yes.
Okay. I have a pie cutter that I got on Amazon the other year, and it helps me mark it. It doesn't cut it all the way through, but it'll at least give you good even marks.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Maybe if we continue doing 10 cut pies, our wonderful purchasing person can find us some. Okay, I'm going to have to stop sharing for a second so I can pull this up. Hold on. The purchasing person says no. She texted me. Womp womp. Let's see.
Cruz, we're glad that you're back, by the way.
Yes, welcome back. We missed you so much. Bear with me. I'm just trying to get it open. Okay, I got it. So this is just a tip. It's about a minute. Can y'all hear it?
No, I cannot hear it.
You can't
No,
hear?
ma'am.
I can hear it on my end. Well, can anyone hear it? No.
No.
Okay. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. What I'm going to do is I will send this out with the template for you guys, and you can do as you please with it. She uses like toothpicks, and she, basically marks the pie. I think once you do 1 or 2 pies, you get a pretty good feel for it. So, anywho, all right, that's not going to work. I'll need to work on that. Moving on, let me get back to sharing. Can y'all see that again? Yes. Does anybody have any questions at this point?
Yes, I do. This is a
Okay.
question for the purchasing agent. We're only allowed to get 2 boxes of forks and 2 boxes of spoons every week. And then for our Thanksgiving service, will we be able to order any more of that?
So those 2 boxes of spoons and 2 boxes of forks, that was last year. We're not having a problem with those anymore. So you can order as many as you want. Also, stay tuned on silverware for an update that should be coming sometime soon.
Good question, Sam. Thanks, Catherine. Shawnette?
So would we be able to order the cutlery packages instead
You will
of
be.
Stay tuned for an update that should be coming soon.
Yes. Thank you. Shawnette, are you good?
I think she
Okay.
said yes.
She said an update will be coming soon. So, yes, I believe we will be getting cutlery kits, but we're waiting on Gordon's, but we're trying to. Okay. So this right here is a picture of the cranberry sauce where most of the cranberries are popped. And this is the goal that we want to be at, where most of them are popped, but they haven't lost their shape yet. There's no science, there's no time frame. It depends on how hot your fire is. But the more that the cranberries have popped, the more likely that it's going to gelatinize. Okay? We've seen it a lot where it's just like a runny liquid, and I think if we have that issue, we may just not even want to serve cranberry, but I think it would be on a case-by-case basis. Once it's completely cooled, you can scoop it out into portion cups if that's what you're doing, and put it in the fridge for the future. Any questions on cranberry sauce? Nope. Okay, I think Dee was going to cover the next couple days.
Yes. One day before meal service, this is the day before the big day. We want to get as much ready and as much planned. Prep fresh fruit, rinse, remove stems from grapes, do anything that you can to get a hold of that day because the day of service is, it's going to be busy. Portion fruit if space allows. If you are able to have like a rack that closes, you can put the fruit in there, as well as refrigerate the fruit. So put it back in there. You'll have it ready for that day. Prepare green bean recipe in hotels and add seasonings. Do not cook. So have all your green beans in it, add the seasonings, put a lid over it, label, date it, put it in the refrigerator. It'll be ready to go the next day. Pan and thaw rolls in refrigerator. So we want to have all that done. As you can imagine, it's already going to be a lot of rolls. So, you're going to have to plan space accordingly. Pan nuggets and vegetarian nuggets if you're going to be doing that option. I know some people are going to be having the side salad, so whatever you and your supervisor decided to do that day, pan it up to make sure you're not having to do it that day of, because we're going to already have to have food ready by 10 o'clock for the kids that are eating early and coming through the line with us. Do not cook. So we're not cooking any of these items. We're not cooking the green beans. We're not cooking the nuggets. We're simply panning them up. So it'll prevent us from having to do that morning. Prep turkey with dressing and foil pans covered with lids. Do not cook. This is something you're going to want to take care of the day before. You're not going to want to do this the day of. You're going to put everything in the pan, label, date it, put it in the refrigerator for overnight. So that morning, all of those items are ready. Does anybody have any questions about those items or any questions with this slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so one day prior, so if we're doing Thanksgiving on Thursday again,
it is not okay to prep Thursday's turkey and stuffing on Monday, right?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're cooking it on Thursday.
Right.
I would say that if you had extra prepped pans for Tuesday's meal service, so you're serving on Tuesday and Thursday, is that what
Yes.
I would say those are okay to use, but if you know that you're going to need 6 pans for Tuesday and 6 pans for Thursday, I would try my best to produce those as close to the day of meal service as
Yes.
possible.
Like if you have 2 pans over that you want to use out, use those 2 pans that you prep for the Tuesday service first before the Thursday service.
Okay.
Any other supervisors got some input with that?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Be sure to reduce your number on Thursday too if you produce too much on Tuesday with your plan.
And too, guys, we can have, like Jennifer said, just reduce it so that you're not having too much leftovers. Any other questions with this one? Okay.
Good questions.
Okay, so here is the big day.
Hey, Dee, Brittany raised her hand.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am, Brittany.
It was Jackie.
Yes, ma'am, Jackie.
Hey, the rolls. Is there a certain amount of days that it can stay in the cooler to defrost? Can we pan them Friday for Tuesday?
Yeah, that was. Go ahead.
I believe you can. I've heard Lee say that you can.
Yes.
Awesome. They might even poof up a little.
Yeah. Day of the service. This is the big day. This is make tea and water in dispensers. Don't make the tea before it tends to go bad. So try make that the day of. I add ice to dispensers and prepare ice in bowl with scoop for beverages. Prepare chef salads that day for what you're going to be needing. Bake turkey and dressing in foil pans. We're not using our regular pans. We're not going to want to throw, this is going to be thrown away afterwards, the foil pan. Bake nuggets, the vegetarian nuggets, whatever you have planned before. Bake the rolls. Prepare mashed potatoes in hotel pan. We're going to heat the green beans in a hotel pan and prepare gravy in pans. And so that's why it's so important that we're prepping as much as these items as we can the day before. That's why we're stressing it to y'all, because as you can see, the day of, we're going to be cooking and getting iced tea ready and the chef's out. I mean, it's just going to be a lot of items to produce, and you're going to have to make sure you're doing it right, because if we're cooking the rolls and the nuggets, that's a lot of oven spaces. So make sure you're cooking the time you need it. I know it's going to seem like, oh, we're cooking so early, but you're going to want to have those items ready by, I mean, some schools are serving at 10 o'clock. So it's going to be something we're going to have to do in the morning time. Is there questions with that?
Michelle has her hand raised.
Yes, on the prepare ice and bowl with scoop for beverages, make sure there is a cover on it, because if that health inspector comes, and she may come that day, don't think she won't.
Thank you.
And good thing too, Michelle, that she added that, because we can always prepare the ice, put it in the freezer till the day of. It's not, I mean, to the, when you need to put it out that day. So if you want to get that ice ready for the morning time, like Michelle said, put a cover over it, put it in the freezer, take it out, still have that cover over it, but at least it's going to be ready. It's not like you're going to have to scoop ice out right then and there.
The scoop also needs to be in a pan with the lid over it.
In a separate pan, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Amber, did you have a question?
As far as water goes, I see it's in dispensers. Are we going to be purchasing jugged water or?
No, we use the water, the tap water. Our water is, purified. It's going to be in the dispenser. You will put, I usually put ice in the water dispensers. just so that it's chilled.
Yep.
They can add more ice if they want to.
Okay, one more. So I was planning on having 2 tea dispensers. So would it be appropriate to say I'm going to need 4 dispensers? Two
Yeah,
for,
you're gonna.
2 for water?
Yeah, 2 for water, 2 for the tea. So you're gonna have like 2 separate tables, or just one table, but 2 on each side, so that the flow's going faster, so that you don't have, a whole bunch of group of people waiting on just 2 dispensers. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
And
That's a
if I-
great idea.
If I have 2 dispensers in school, then I'm going to get with Catherine to find another 2.
Or maybe even get with your neighbor and see if they have any other dispensers that they can just share with you that day. But yeah, we do have dispensers available for y'all. And, that's not a bad idea to have, two tea dispensers and 2 water dispensers, just so that this way that line just keeps going down. I do suggest on that day, though, that you have a volunteer mandating that area. If that's all they do that day, or just making sure that area stays stocked, and let them know. If you see that ice dispenser, that ice scoop in the ice, make sure you put it with the lid. Or if you see the ice, you can have a volunteer, let them know that this is your station you're mandating this day. Let them know all the things that Michelle talked about, making sure that we have the lid on top. If you let a volunteer know that, and that's their job duty that day, it will, that's not a bad idea, and it'll take one less thing off of you that you'll have to be worrying about going to that table to do. But it's just a suggestion.
Laura, did you have a question?
Yes, as far as the water and the dispensers, are we not doing water bottles with the meal, or we're just having an extra option?
For what I heard, there was talk that we didn't. If a adult comes through and they prefer the bottled water, as I heard, that was not an issue. So if you do want to have the water available for the adults, that's fine. But just know, if I'm not mistaken, that if a child gets a water bottle, we'll have to charge them that water bottle. So, just, use your discretion and let the parents know. I prefer water dispensers just because it avoids that, but I do understand that some people prefer bottled water. So it's just a preference.
Okay, and does anyone else have any recommendations for us that are spatially challenged? We have our tiny refrigerator and freezer, so trying to prepare all this and find a place for it's going to be hard.
Do you have a closed cart, like a
carrier?
We do have a closed carrier, but we can probably only fit 2 carriers or a carrier and a rack in our cooler. We don't have very much room at all.
Yes.
If anyone has any tips or tricks.
Laura, I'll get with you. Maybe we can talk to the Fabulous Warehouse and see if they can't help us out if we get things prepared ahead of time.
Okay.
Good question. Oh, Amber?
Yes, I'm looking at the stuff that we're supposed to order next week. What is the 4-ounce par pack with hinge for? I was looking through the recipes and I didn't see it.
That is for the mashed potatoes. We're not able to get our regular 4-ounce par pack, so that's the one we chose to do.
Okay. And then the other question is, I was looking, the recipe says that the turkey and dressing for elementary school goes directly on the trays. Are we going to be ordering paper trays too?
Yes, and an email's coming soon with all the updated list about what you can order.
Okay, awesome.
Good
I'm
question.
trying to get ahead.
Shawnette?
Okay, with the hinge containers, are those the ones that we were like here? I think it was last year here recently. They subbed us on. Do you know they the same ones? They were like
Clear?
They're the actual mashed potatoes.
No,
they sent us some hinge containers, clear hinge containers, to sub out for
It's a possibility that they've been subbed. We've had so many subs that I'm not sure, but possibly.
If it is those, they are not going to hold well with heat. They were good for cold items.
So they should be the same as what we used to order, basically the 4-ounce clear par pack that we used to put our mashed potatoes in. They're the same, they just have a lid on them. So you don't want to scoop your mashed potatoes and put them in the warmer in those containers. But if we are scooping it on the line and just putting it underneath the heat lamps as the kids and the adults are coming through the line, they should hold up okay.
Okay, do we need to use the hinge? Do we need to close the mashed potatoes, or can we leave them open? It's just an extra step.
I think the lid's attached to them, so if you're not closing them, we might need to take the lid off of them just so it doesn't look.
Right. Okay.
Good questions. Anything else right now? No. Moving on. Oops. Tina?
Tina, your volume is off.
Okay, so we were just, the principal had said something here that we just make the trays up with everything on it and don't let them choose. Just make the trays and have them sit out there.
And that's fine. I mean, if she, we've had that option too. It's just, like when they come down the line, usually we would ask the parent mashed potatoes, like you have another person doing that. I understand she's probably wanting to do that to get your line easier. So it's just, going. We'll get back with you on that one. I'll talk to you later after that.
Okay.
Okay. Day of, just some reminders of things that you may forget about because you're running like chickens with your heads cut off in the kitchen that day. Did you put your butter out? You have sugar, sweet and low, stir sticks, napkin dispensers. Is your plasticware out? Water and tea. Enough cups out there so you don't have to run in the middle of meal service. Check to make sure you did put your ketchup, your barbecue sauce, your chicken dipping sauce, and as we discussed, the ice in a separate container with a lid on it. These are just last minute things that are easy to forget about, so we just wanted to remind you.
Where do you want us to order the cups from?
Probably from Gordon's, right? I don't know. There's
More information on that coming.
Yeah.
Wait for that email that should be coming soon.
It'll have the size of the cups, the order number, everything for you.
Perfect.
Okay, and then you're done with meal service. You did it. Take a breather. Give yourself a pat on the back. Now we have to deal with leftovers. So I believe that's Becky's going to go over leftovers for us, and then we'll just do some questions, tips, things like that. Becky, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, so turkey and dressing. Already prepped pans of turkey and dressing should be served out next meal service if possible. If you are unable to serve at next meal service, talk with your supervisor. Prep pans of turkey and dressing that have been kept at proper temperature should be frozen if you cannot serve it out immediately. You must test the quality of the product when you plan to reserve it at a later date, and the menu must be approved by Lakin. That's turkey and dressing. Now we're going chicken nuggets, served at the next lunch meal service the next day. Chef salad should be wasted. Mixed fruit served at next meal service, so you can serve it at for breakfast the next morning if you need to, or lunch, both. Green bean, missed mashed potatoes. Serve at the next lunch meal service. Green bean, serve at next lunch meal service. Roll, serve at next lunch service. Pumpkin pies. A student cannot get 2 slices of pumpkin pie within 1 week. Monday through Friday is your week. You may freeze pie immediately after meal service if proper temperature is set. You must get approval from Lakin on appropriate date to serve remainder of pies. Cannot be sold as a la carte. And then the iced tea and water, waste. Okay, Michelle?
Brittany, do you have a question? Brittany?
Y'all answered it.
Okay, Michelle?
Okay, that means on the mixed fruit, a lot of you guys are doing the service on Tuesday and Thursday. That mixed fruit should not be held for Thursday. Do you supervisors agree?
Yes, because it does say serve at the next lunch menu. So I do agree with that. We should be serving it out the first. Like if we have it left over, serve it out for breakfast as Becky suggested and make the
Yes.
fresh ones. So yes, I agree.
Okay. And there was something else. Okay, so the people that are having the meals on Tuesday and Thursday, so it says chicken nuggets, that should be served out at the next meal service also. So these kids are going to get chicken nuggets Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
I would say if the chicken nuggets haven't been cooked, then they could probably just save them for the Thanksgiving the next time. Don't you think?
Yes. I do. Yeah, I agree.
I think that would be fine. Our goal, and the reason why we have this slide, our goal is we don't want leftovers for the week after we get back from Thanksgiving break. We want you guys to use them up ASAP. So use them up as best you can. Any more questions? Okay, next slide. Oops, just kidding. Next slide. I think, Becky, you were going to cover this one too.
So a few more tips. Elementary schools do not have to serve cart items on days that you have Thanksgiving meal service. It is a big undertaking to have a successful Thanksgiving meal, so please plan ahead. And like Gino just said, our goal is to get rid of leftovers ASAP and get menus approved by Lakin, please. Any questions?
Okay. Oops. Brittany?
It's Jackie. Hey, the cranberries, if we don't need, I guess we got 7 bags. I only need 2. Can I freeze it and leave the cranberries for next
Yes,
year? In the
you sure can.
Fantastic.
Good question. Does anybody have any tips on experiences that they've, sorry, that distracted me, that they want to share with a group? Any experience in the past where you've just had a really successful Thanksgiving? Any silly tips that might save someone's day that are so small that we would never even think about it, but it could be a lifesaver?
With the dressing, when you put the meat in the steamers to cook, it creates like its own juice. Some people drain it. I'll advise to use it. It adds flavor and moistness to the butter that's added as well.
Okay. Sam, did you have a comment or a question?
I noticed that if you are cooking your cranberry sauce, sometimes if you're cooking it in a higher temperature, waiting for it to boil and you don't pay attention, it will boil over. So make sure that you're paying attention to your cranberry sauce.
Yes. Cranberry sauce can be very delicate, I guess. Thank you. Anything else? Okay.
Just going back, I'm so sorry, but just going back to the cranberry, the dressing. If I'm not mistaken, we put the turkey flat in the hotel pan with the stuffing on top and put that in the oven.
Correct.
So it won't be going. I'm not for sure.
I thought she meant in the pan. Like when she made like the casserole, I thought she meant people were draining the juice from that.
Oh,
No, you're supposed to cook it all together. Is that what you meant, Shawnette?
No. So what I was saying was, if you cook the turkey, yes, you should cook it all together. That what I have done in the past was put the turkey in the steamer. It creates some juice from the turkey, and then I add the dressing and put it in the oven. It just made it more moist. When I cooked it straight in the oven and mixed it all together, it was dry. It wasn't, the turkey wasn't able to create that moistness. But
and that is why we also put the gravy on top. But if I'm not mistaken, just reread the recipe to make sure we're just doing it as the recipe has it.
I understand that. I was just getting my little advice.
Thank you, Shawnette. Laura, you have a comment? Laura?
Sorry, we have a police officer in here discussing lockdown drills. You'll be sending this in an email, correct?
Yes.
All the slides?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, if you guys think of anything, let me know and I can send it out to the group. I hope you learned something. I hope we have a yummy Thanksgiving. Thank y'all.
Bye. Have a good day.